What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting these possibilities for you to consider, enabling you to come up with your own conclusions.
Do you look for violence in Harlem this summer?
Yes, I do look for violence. When you say Harlem, mind you, Harlem is New York City. Queens is Harlem. Brooklyn is Harlem. The Bronx is Harlem. Westchester is Harlem.
Where does your financing come from now?
Right now, I have no financing. The only financing we have are the Muslims who are still with me.
Well, how do you support yourself,
Well,
Malcolm?
I'm unsupported.
Well, you seem to be fairly well fed
Well,
and well.
fortunately, while I was among the Muslims, I never lived beyond my means, and I have learned how to live within means. And I still have the clothes that that was provided for me at that time. I'm in the house that was provided for me, although we're in a court battle. They're trying to get it back.
Within 5 months after this interview, Malcolm's house was bombed. And a week later, February 21st, 1965, Malcolm was assassinated in Manhattan's Audubon Ballroom. 3 men were convicted of the terrible crime. This reporter interviewed the only one of those 3 who admitted to the assassination.
Were you offered any money to do this?
No, I wasn't offered any money for my part in this. During the trial, I did state that.
Ladies and gentlemen, code breakers around the world, wherever you may be, my name is Logan, going to be your tour guide for this presentation on Malcolm X. Malcolm Little, but went by Malcolm X. As many of the people in that nation changed their names too, the X. See the hourglass there? That's the Taurus field, the letter X there. That's how big it is and how deep you can go symbolically with it. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you a scripted reality. Probably could have did scripted reality 35, but I want to just keep this straight. Malcolm X. This is kind of part of the history decodes that I'm going to be doing. Got this one coming out on the Berlin Wall. Some people say, oh, you know, how about doing some good stuff? Okay, well, this was a good thing. This one's going to be coming out. But let's get into Malcolm X Decoded. Again, I'm going to show you. By the end of this presentation, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still on the fence, I'm going to show you how this one, I'll just let the evidence do the talking, right? So this happened all the way back in 1965, February 21st. It was during the wintertime, New York City, cold out. And here's the man who got assassinated. He was 39 when he got taken out. Here's his birth card. He was born on May 19th, the King of Clubs, the Mastermind card. But you see, this man had, what I read anyway, seemed like he had a pretty difficult youth. He spent some time in prison, but he became, a very powerful voice, the mastermind, the King of Clubs. What I watched, he spoke with a lot of fire and conviction, and was calling for black pride and self-defense. Didn't want to bow down to oppression. So he was definitely a big, pivotal person in the Nation of Islam. But what they didn't like about him was they probably felt he grew too powerful, too independent, too outspoken. I mean, he did criticize Muhammad's conduct, and I think he even called him out on hypocrisy. So he definitely spoke his mind, and he was a king of clubs, the king on the chessboard. I know that he challenged the nation's view on race. Especially, he made the trip to Egypt and the Mecca. He braced a more global, inclusive vision of Islam and human rights. And then he became popular, and his charisma drew a lot of attention. And as you saw in that video, his house got bombed. Then he got taken out, man. So really, in short, this man, he became kind of the enemy of Islam. I think that they didn't like his truth-telling, his truth. And he shifted towards this broader, more unifying message, which threatened the control of the Nation of Islam, exposed their flaws, if you will. And his card, as you can see, I have the arrow right here. This card sits in the Uranus space. I'm going to come back to this. I want to just show you. Here's the master spread, and here it is, the Uranus. This sits in the Uranus space. And Uranus is a energy, a planet about revolution. And that's exactly what he came here to do. Like him or not, because Uranus means revolution. You remember, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, the co-ruler, and we are seemingly already have moved into the age of Aquarius. We're going to see revolutions. They're going to come. This was a taste from an individual perspective, this man. I'm going to show you the astrological chart of the assassination. I'm going to show you that this man didn't have a choice, and he got shot by the people that didn't have choices to shoot him. We go right to the card and system, and we can see here that the Mars card, his Mars card, which is war, is the Four of Diamonds, which is card number 30, and it is the card for the assassination. His name in the Mighty Chaldean, coming through once again to show this scripted reality, is a 30. And Allah in Arabic numerology is a 30. How does it come out this way? Just to be clear, his assassination, February 21st, go into the chart. Here it is. Here's February coming down to the 21st. There it is. The Four of Diamonds. Card number 30. Card number 30, folks. Card number 30. Yeah, these are wow moments. These are undeniable connections, and using real Arabic numerology. Not just putting it into English. This is Arabic. The Mars took him out, the god of war. It was his destiny to be taken out. And this is the Jack in the Box card. Jack in the Box, the restaurant, was founded on February 21st. We're all Jack stuck in the box. This is the Hotel California song. All that kind of stuff. So let's go to the astrological chart. I'm using the most accurate system that you can use in astrology, masteringthezodiac.com. This is Athens' website. This is a combination of tropical and true sidereal. The tropical is the 12 houses inside, and then we have the 13 signs of the true sidereal with the respected sizes. The most accurate system you can use. And right off the bat, when I pulled this chart up, I saw it clear as day. Can you see it? Look what's in the middle of that wheel. It's an X. There is an X right in the middle of that chart of the assassination on February 21st. I have this at, it says it was right after 3 p.m. So I put at 13:05, some of the accounts, 15:05, 15:15, which is military time, 3 o'clock. There's the X. Again, this is a scripted reality by way of astrology. You got to go past just numerology. You got to go past this. Well, the 30, his name change, matches the actual assassination day and matches the Arabic spelling, the numerology output of Allah. Got taken out by his own nation. His own God he got taken out by. And there's a lot going on here besides just this. We're going to talk about all this stuff. You know, we have Chiron, Saturn, Mercury, and the Sun all in Aquarius. And Aquarius is social circles. That's what he was in. About 400 people in the ballroom in New York City, collective, watching him speak. It represents the people, humanitarianism, doing what he thought was humanitarian, like visions of society, dreaming of the future, dreaming what we can build together. This is the sign of humanitarianism. And he's got the wound there, Saturn there, Mercury, the messenger there. He was speaking through Mercury, and his spirit, the sun there. But he had Chiron there. Or the world did anyway. And Chiron is the wounded healer. And when you take Chiron and you join it with Saturn, which is the enforcer of karmic law, and you put it there with the sun, the life force, and the voice of Mercury, what's going to happen when you put all this energy together? Well, the wound was carved right into the collective. Everybody in that ballroom, including the press, and everybody that was part of that whole group of people, were affected by this. And then everybody, the aftermath. Because Malcolm's words, the Mercury, were silenced by the Chiron wound, the Saturn position, and so many other ones that we're going to talk about over here. His death really created a tear in the social fabric, which is the humanitarianism of Aquarius. So his assassination was more than an attack on man. It was an attack on the whole community. This is the community here. That's what it was. And then you come down here and you got the Mars, Pluto, and Uranus. Remember, this is the Uranus card. Sitting in the sign of Leo. Leo's ruled by the sun over here in humanitarianism. Mars is the god of war, the planet of violence. And it's in the 6th sign of Virgo. And Virgo is synchronistic to the snake in Chinese. 1965 was the year of the snake. Virgo is the snake in Chinese. He's got Mars there. So this was about precision, very sharp, very analytical. Virgo and the snake, they both carry the energy of calculation, striking at the right moment with precision. Pluto is their death. Pluto and Mars are the co-rulers of Scorpio, and that's exactly the house that Chiron was in, the house of Scorpio. This is the tropical aspect. So literally taking him out with the gunshots in the social environment of that ballroom. That's how accurate astrology is. This true sidereal now. So this is how the assassination unfolded. And I want to reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, this was the year of the wood snake, and the snake in Chinese is the 6th sign, and you just simply connect the 6th zodiac sign, which is Virgo, and there's the Mars card. I mean, the Mars energy right there. Wait till you see the Mars beyond this. Again, just coming up here. This was the Mars card for his birthday. The Allah card is his Mars card, and the Mars card sits in that sign of Virgo. You see, the snake, the year of the snake. I can take this 4 and I can just slide it right over here and match it up with that Mars, because his Mars card is the 4 of diamonds, which is the day of the assassination, which is the 30th card in the deck, which matches the numerology in Arabic of Allah and the name that he changed Malcolm letter to. See how accurate this is, ladies and gentlemen? Scary accurate. And then, again, the Pluto energy here, death. Pluto is the co-ruler of Mars. Again, Mars and Pluto are the rulers of the 8th house. There's that Chiron wound. And he got shot, supposedly got shot in the chest first, right here. The astrology is from head to toe. Pisces at the bottom, Aries at the top. Cancer, usually the lungs. The chest, excuse me. Gemini's the lungs. And Leo, the heart. Very close together. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the rising was Cancer. Chest. Leo, the heart. All this energy in the heart. Pluto, Mars. Death. They get shot and taken out, and of course, in the ballroom, in a social circle environment, 400 plus people in that ballroom. You can see how all this unfolded through the astrological chart with the cards. So again, I'm just reading I was reading the news report, and it says he got shot. I think it was through his heart. Right here. His sun was in Aquarius social circles, across from Leo, which is the ruler of that. Uranus, revolution. This is the Uranus card. Are you seeing this, ladies and gentlemen? It's beyond just this. Just some connections that we've covered Allah before in Arabic. Using the original language, the word demiurge is 30. The New Age name of the God of the Bible, Jehovah, is 30. Yaldabaoth, the Gnostic demiurge, is 30 in the Greek. What is up with all these 30s? Well, 3 is expansion and 0 means infinite potential. That's what our reality is based on. 3, expansion, and 0, infinite potential. And the root of that is the 3. That's how big all this stuff is. So this is why I have said, my final answer, we live in a Ponzi scheme. All these religions, they all pledge to the same boss. It just goes by all these different names. Why can't people get along? Well, because this reality likes drama. That's what it likes. We're in a movie, entertainment we are, playing out a role. So let's get into the ballroom of where the assassination happened in New York City. This right here. Shabazz Center. Here's the crazy sinks, right? This is the man who designed it. Thomas. White Lamb. Really weird name if you ask me. It's so fascinating. This guy designs the ballroom where Malcolm X gets assassinated, and then Thomas Hagan's the man who got pinned for the assassination itself. There were other men, but he's the main guy. Thomas. What's going on here? Thomas is Jesus' twin brother. Oh, that comes into play here for sure. These are all just characters. So here is the ballroom, and the big takeaway, obviously, is this, as you can see at the top there, it's Poseidon, Neptune. So obviously now you're in the house of Neptune. Neptune is Brahma in Vedic. Neptune is the G in God, G-O-D. Neptune is the G, which is generate, the generator. And here is where Poseidon was located at the time of the assassination. In the 4th house, 4. Telling you, this is how it all connects, folks. At this moment in time, this is how this all connects. And there's the moon there. Selene watching everything, because the moon is the great gig in the sky, the camera watching everything. It's in the 7th house of Libra, the Omega, the Alpha and Omega. And in that 7th house, just color, see the color there, was Mercury and the Sun. The messenger got taken out at the center of Poseidon. So Poseidon comes in on all of this. This is a team effort. It's not just one placement, but the big heavy hitters, of course, were these right here, Leo and Aquarius. especially the Chiron placement. This is his Mars card, Mars across from Chiron. All of them playing out. Remember that X is so definitive in the assassination chart. So let's talk more about Poseidon here. Now I'm going to go to the cards. I have 3 spreads here. Over here to the left is Thomas Hagan. He was 23 years young when he took those shots. Over here to the right, Malcolm X. He was 39 when he got taken out. Young guy. And then Solar Spread 52 was the age of this building. It was built in November 1912. It was 52 years old. The building was. So now you have an architecture housing the event to play out in this and to show you how scripted it was through the cards. So here, let's start with Hagan, the shooter, one of the shooters. Don't have the other 2 people, so I can't find that stuff. Well, right here is the Poseidon card for this position right here. Hagan becomes the little child, and then Poseidon. This is the card, the 10 of spades, the 10 of swords, the Poseidon card, right? Remember, it's in the ballroom ruled by Poseidon here. Dead giveaway. And why I'm showing the Poseidon is because if I come over to Malcolm X's solar spread, he was 39. Here's his card. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight those same spaces. This is the castle wall, the 10 of clubs. And this is Hagan, the child, the younger one, 23 years young. The 6 of hearts. And his Poseidon card is the 10 of spades, which becomes the 10 of swords. And Hagan's 10 of spades through the spread of Malcolm X's the 9 of diamonds. Card 35, you're on television. This is the you're on television card. Yeah, we're on television. This was a big movie in real life. And you can see that in the ballroom, in that same position, in the Poseidon position, there is Malcolm X's card. Malcolm X in the ballroom, on stage, the you're on television card, and he gets taken out by death. All playing out through this position right here of the Neptune card. That's how dialed in these cards are. And I just want to be clear, because some of you say, well, where are those charts? Well, you can go to this website, knowyourdestinycards.com. I'll leave these in the description so you can play around with them. Come up here to the chart menu and you'll have all the spreads. Just because I want to be crystal clear. I want you to know I'm not trying to get one past you. Here is Thomas Hagan, and there's the 10 of spades, the Neptune card. This is the Neptune card for this position. And then we have Malcolm X right there, and there's his 10 of clubs and the 9 of diamonds sitting in that same exact spot. That's all we're doing is matching it up. That's all we have to do is match it up. Now, this is where it gets so dominant and so ridiculous and so in your face and leaves no doubt in your mind and the value of these cards. Remember, there are 52 cards in a deck, 52 weeks in a year. These are embedded into nature. And if you start using these with your decoding efforts, it will open up a world to show you how scripted our reality is. Solar spread number 30. Why? Because Allah is 30. Solar spread 39. Why? Because Malcolm X was 39 when he got taken out. And look at what is sitting in these 2 same exact spaces. In solar spread 39 for Malcolm X, he was 39 getting taken out, is the card of Allah right here. And it is the card of the assassination, February 21st, is the 4 of diamonds. And in the spread of Allah, because Allah is 30, that same exact spot, there is the 10 of spades, which was the Thomas Hagan Poseidon card. Death. Death. Got taken out by his own God. And to be clear, here is solar spread number 30. Remember, Allah is 30, and there's that 10 of spades sitting right there in the Saturn-Mercury line, right there. Go to 39. There's Allah in Malcolm X's space. His solar spread, he was 39. Just so you can be clear, and I'll again leave these in the definition so you can see. I'm not trying to get one past you. There's no magic here, folks. I'm not doing sleight of hand. I'm not trying to pull the woolly over your eyes. I'm giving you credible evidence to show you that what happened on February 21st was part of a scripted, reality. And it doesn't matter if it's staged, it's a psyop, it doesn't matter if it was real or not real, it doesn't matter. Some people really die, some people really stage it. It doesn't matter. It's all part of the movie. It's all part of the script. Now remember, I just want to remind you that the Chiron, the wounded warrior, this is a very important position in your astrological chart. One of the most important, if you ask me. You got to know what you're working with your wound. It can be talking about death. Obviously with him, Chiron, the wounded warrior, in the humanitarianism, in social circles, there was a ballroom full of 400 people. This is the placement of Aquarius. Remember, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. The Four of Diamonds, which is the card of Allah, is the Uranus card. Uranus represents and owns and operates the sign of Aquarius. I mean, it's there, man. This is the 30th card in the deck. And the Chiron card for Allah is the Three of Hearts. How do I get that? I'm going to go to the Master Life Spread. This is ground zero. When you were born and came out of your mother's womb, this is the chart that you would reference. This is your birthday zero. Before you turn 1, then you go into Solar Spread 1. This is the governing Master Life Spread. And here is Allah. I'm going to show it to you on this. This is the governing Master Life Spread. Here is Allah right here. Right here is Allah. Okay? On the Master Life side. And how do we find the Chiron? You go 9 steps. 9 placements. Starting at yours. You go from right to left, top to bottom. So this, for Allah, is the Mercury card. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Now to the top, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron. The Three of Hearts in the Master Life Spread is the Chiron card for Allah. And here in Solar Spread 39, the age at which Malcolm X was assassinated sits his birth card? Yeah. That's how dialed in this assassination was without any kind of interference from anybody trying to plot and plan. No, this is a work of divinity. This is a work of supernatural powers working beyond the scope of humankind. This is evidence, strong evidence to support that we live in a scripted reality. Now, if you want more cemented support, you're going to get the humdinger now. I'm going to show you a humdinger. The great Denzel Washington. He was casted to play Malcolm X, the 1992 Spike Lee movie. He was 37 when he played the character. Guess what his birth card is? Yeah. It's the Chiron card for Allah. Okay? Are you seeing these connections? He was born on December 28th. His birth card is the Three of Hearts. 3 means expansion. The expansion of love is really what the Three of Hearts means. This card is the Chiron card for Allah in the Master Life Spread, and Malcolm X was sitting in that same exact spot during his assassination. Mercury is the messenger. The messenger got taken out. This is the Mercury space. Yeah, Chiron took out the messenger. Mercury's right there in Aquarius. This is all about the ballroom and the social circle environment, 400 plus people. So now you have an actor in 1992 who has the Three of Hearts birth card, which is the Chiron card for the card of Allah, which is the Chiron card for the assassination on February 21st. And then on top of that, on top of all that, when I go to solar spread 26, because 26 is Malcolm X's birth card, there it is right there. There's Denzel Washington's birth card in Malcolm X's solar spread 26, because this is the card of his birthday of May 19th. And look at what we have comparing it to that master life. There it is, the 4 of diamonds. The guy gets casted to play Malcolm X. And sitting in solar spread 26, which this is the 26 card, sitting in that space of the 4 of diamonds. And again, I just come back up here. There's the Chiron card. There's Malcolm X. Malcolm X getting taken out. The messenger getting taken out by his own deity that he pledged to. It's all a show, man. From a movie to a movie. We're in a movie. It's all a movie. And so the last thing I want to show you, the humdinger of the presentation, well, there were probably a few, but this one here, again, if you're still on the fence of living in a scripted reality, no, I have choices. How are you to describe what I'm about to tell you and show you with this narration? This here is Denzel Washington at the age of 10 years young. Over there to the left. He was 10 years young when the assassination happened. Malcolm being assassinated at the age of 39. And solar spread number 10 for Denzel. His card is right here. But the important part I want to show you is in his solar spread number 10, because we're all these cards, folks, is the 10 of spades sitting in the same space as Malcolm's birth card in his assassination solar spread. And you know what this 10 of spades is, ladies and gentlemen? It's the assassination. If I go back here, solar spread number 30, which matches Allah. 30th card is the assassination day. I go to solar spread 30, and there's that 10 of spades. There's that 4 of diamonds, the card of the assassination. This is 30th card in the deck. Solar spread 39 is the age Malcolm was assassinated. There's that 4 of diamonds right there. It's got to grayed out, but I'm coming up here now because this is where he was sitting on the day of his assassination. He's sitting in the Mercury line. That's the messenger getting taken out, and there's the assassination. And this is Denzel at 10 years young, who was destined to play in 1992 at the age of 37, Malcolm X. What are you to say about this? Destiny. Destined to play Malcolm X. This is complete evidence of that. So where does man come in and then start to say, well, we're going to cast this person. We're going to choose this kid at this young age of 10, because I'm looking at these charts, and we're going to cast him to play somebody who's going to get assassinated in 1965. Where is the logical thinking here with all of this? No, ladies and gentlemen, this is the great illusion. Maya. Free will is an illusion. We may have emotions. We may be able to have free will over how our emotional reactions are. Sure. But this right here is complete evidence against us having any free will. If you don't understand this system, well, I completely get it. But if you know the card system and astrology and numerology, and you bring them all together, it strengthens and supports it that this is completely an illusion. Free will is an illusion. We're living inside of this is a movie, folks. And then we make movies about the movie. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got for you. Malcolm X Decoded. If you saw something that I didn't bring out, excuse me, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you, everybody, for all your support. Again, big shout out to the Patreon members. That's all I got for today. My name is Logan for Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.